All right, so another way to do division when you've got patterns of tens here, numbers that have, 0 in the ones, tens, hundreds. Another way to divide, and we actually did not go over this today, but we will be going over this, so this is kind of like a preview, is to first of all rewrite your problem as a division problem. Because another way to write 24,000 divided by 600 is to write it as a division problem. 24,000 divided by, because the fraction bar does mean divide, divided by 600. So now what I want to do is I want to decompose 24,000 and I want to decompose 600 to look for powers of 10 in numbers that I can divide easily. So I know that 24,000 is the same thing as 24 times 1,000. I know that 600 is the same thing as 6 times 100. So at this point, I'm still looking for equivalent forms of 1, which again is something we haven't talked about yet, but we will be talking about a lot, especially when we get into fractions. So 1,000 has 100 as a factor. So I'm going to decompose 1,000 so I can get that factor of 100. 24, and 1,000 is the same thing as 10 times 100. And then 600, I'm going to leave as 6 times 100. So now I have an equivalent form of 1. 100 divided by 100 is 1. So this is an equivalent form of 1. I'm putting a 1 through it to show that it equals 1. And it's kind of like I'm getting rid of it. I'm not getting rid of it, but sometimes it's easier to think of it that way. So now I'm left with 24 times 10 divided by 6. So now I want to look for more equivalent forms of 1, and I know that 10 does not have 6 as a factor, but I know that 24 has 6 as a factor. So my next step would be to decompose 24 so that I can get that 6. So 24 is the same thing as 6 times 4. I still have this times 10 here, and it's still divided by 6. Remember, I did not put this 100 in the numerator and denominator because it was an equivalent form of 1. It equals 1. So I can just leave it off because multiplying by 1 doesn't change your number. Okay, so now I have another equivalent form of 1. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I'm left with 4 times 10. I could put that I have a 1 in the denominator, but anything divided by 1 is itself. So now I'm left with 40 as my answer. So 24,000 divided by 600 is 40.